Somebody raise their hand if you can hear me, please. All right, looks like we're doing pretty good. Thank you all for coming. There's a few things that you'll see go on tonight. We're going to start with a council meeting, and then since the public hearing, as it was published, it's part of the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. We've got a city council sitting here. We'll open a meeting and then go into recess. And then planning and zoning will convene a meeting for the public hearing purpose. And then when that adjourns, City Council will reconvene our regular council meeting back in council chambers. So just so you're aware, there's a little dynamic going on here. Didn't want anybody to be surprised. So, Karen, are we good to start? All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. And as we do now, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Karen, if you would please, roll call.
Mike Ackerman.
Here.
Jerry Hess.
Here.
Doug Hughes.
Here.
John Kraft.
Here.
Karen Lyons.
With that, we will then ask the council for a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll second. John. Okay.
Karen, that was Jerry's motion, John second. 5 in favor. So at this point in the agenda, we have an open spot for citizen comment. Typically, this is giving an opportunity for any of the public to address the council before we get into the agenda. Knowing that we've got the public hearing section coming up, that would be a more appropriate place for that topic, but I will ask if anybody wants to address the council on any other topic prior to our meeting. All right, seeing and hearing nothing, we'll move forward. The first item on the council agenda is what we call the consent agenda, where we put a number of items together to be approved at one group. One of the items in there I will highlight is the resolution appointing a new commissioner to the Peosta Planning and Zoning Commission to fill a vacancy. So, Matt Yon, if you would, raise your hands. So in the consent agenda is the resolution appointing Matt. So I'll look to the council for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Motion carries with 5. And at this point, I will now put the city council meeting into recess, and we will provide for the Planning and Zoning Commission to convene their meeting. I will call. I'll call. Jesse?
All in favor? Planning and Zoning Board.
All right, thank you, Justin. With that, just as a reminder, that finishes the public hearing, and the Planning and Zoning Commission has finished their meeting. The City Council will take, say, another 10 minutes so we can collect ourselves, get over to council chambers, and go through the rest of the agenda. You're welcome to stick around for it. But if you choose not to, I do want to say thank you. It's fantastic to see an engaged community, regardless of what opinion you bringing your opinion to this council and to this commission is what makes the city work best. Well, I'm thrilled to see this kind of a turnout. On your way, there were a few comments about not knowing what's going on. The staff here works very hard to make sure you have access to that information, and there's 3 ways that I'll highlight to you. If you're not already using them, please do. We've got a city website. We're about to have a completely redesigned one that should be more useful for you. So stay tuned for that. All right, I've got the recording restarted. We will let's try that again. We will reconvene the city council meeting. Prior to recess, we had been through sections 1 and 2, finished with the consent agenda. So we will pick up now at public hearings. And there's a few items here. First one is a public hearing for Enterprise Drive and Gravity Sewer Improvement Project. So this is related to a planned project on Enterprise Drive. The information is in the board docs. I will with that, I will open the public hearing. Is there anybody from the public that would like to address the council in regards to the planned work on Enterprise Drive?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay. Doug, aye.
Karen, aye.
John, aye.
Jerry, aye. Mike, aye.
Motion carries with 5. So the next on the agenda is for the council to approve the bid, and for that, I'm going to ask our consultant, Jake, would you be willing to outline what you received in the bid?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had a very competitive bid. We received an open 6 bids. Good showing from local firms. The apparent low bidder, Chief Fry Excavating, came in around 30% below the engineer's estimate. So I would recommend awarding base bid plus the alternate for resurfacing the remainder of Enterprise Drive, which was the scope of work involved with the alternate.
Thank you. That's very good news. So to the council, we could take a motion and a second, and any discussion?
You're advising us to take the alternate also?
Correct.
Just, okay, what's the rationale behind that?
I guess it still fits into what we had budgeted for the job, and I think overall it's was desired and will result in a complete resurfacing of the travelway as opposed to stopping at the limits of what's affected by the new sewer piping being installed.
I'll make a motion for Chick Drive for the base bid and the alternate.
I'll second.
Doug, aye.
Karen, aye.
John, aye.
Jerry, aye. Mike, aye.
Motion carries with 5. And then immediately following on that, we'll have a resolution approving the contract for Enterprise Drive and Gravity Sewer Improvement Project.
I'll make a motion approving the resolution approving contract for the Enterprise Drive and Gravity Sewer Improvement Project.
Second that. Doug, aye.
Karen, aye.
John, aye.
Jerry, aye. Mike, aye.
Motion carries with 5. All right, next up then in the public hearing section is a public hearing for the rezoning of Royal Oaks East 7th edition. So I will now open that public hearing. Anybody from the public that would like to address the council regarding Royal Oaks East 7th edition, now's your chance.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second. Doug, aye.
Karen, aye.
John, aye.
Jerry, aye. Mike, aye.
Motion carries with 5. That moves us to section 4 for the Peosta Community Center, and we'll ask our director, Stacy Bauer, for an update.
I guess, do you guys have any questions on what I had in there as far as the update is concerned?
With the ball season coming up, are you planning on hosting any ball tournaments other than Prairie League tournaments?
If they're requested, absolutely. We have one coming out next weekend, I would say.
Okay.
24th, 25th. So yeah, as they reach out, yes.
Okay. So you have one at least?
Yeah, I have my calendar if I have more than that. I know I had another person ask for next weekend as well, so I know people will be asking for one days.
Okay.
A couple additions to what I had here. Tonight we did actually start a DC Basketball Academy, pairing up with them. They're renting our facility to offer basketball camps for kids after school. That'll be Tuesday, Thursdays for the next 7 weeks, so at the end of school. So they had a great showing today. I think the classes are full actually. In May, we're actually getting one of our fitness classes back, our Get Fit class. It's kind of geared towards more of the senior population, if you will. After talking to them, they feel comfortable, and the instructor finally feels comfortable coming back, so we are going to start that in May. So hopefully we're starting to get back to a little sense of normalcy, if I can say that.
Memberships seem pretty strong. Is that, relatively speaking, is that
They're still low.
still low?
They're still low.
Going the right way, though.
I don't anticipate them going up again until after the summer. I think that they'll kind of probably stay semi-steady during the summer. My hope is that once kind of summer's over, we can definitely pick back up is what I'm hoping. And we'll do something with that. We want to do something with the rollout of the new website, do some type of marketing plan, whether that's discount memberships or whatever, still discussing, but do something with that to try to encourage boosting those.
All right, anything else for Stacy?
Do we have a budget to fix the fence out on the ball field?
I already called and on the list.
Okay, cool.
Yes, it needs it really bad, and yeah, so they think it's a month, 2 months out, but as soon as they can get here, they're getting here.
I think it'd be a good time too, when we've been talking about the sidewalk going down faster, is getting some bids.
Yeah.
And maybe Dean can,
And we actually had a conversation about that when they get out here. I'm absolutely gonna ask them and try to get a couple other companies to get a bid. We were thinking moving back 10 feet was kind of what we had talked about.
cool, thanks.
Okay.
Anything else for PCC? Thank you, Stacy. Moving on then to police for our monthly report. Chief Comer.
You guys have my report in front of you. Last month, I advised you guys I applied for the grant for the drug safe, or the prescription drug box drop off. I was awarded that. I did receive it, and I put the details on it. It's now being utilized down at the city police department, right for the flagpoles. So, and people are already utilizing. That's great. That's what it's for. So, it's a good thing. It's an extra tool that we have now that that the citizens can use. So that's a good thing. The next one was the school radar sign that's placed right out here on Birds. I don't know if you guys heard about that or not. It was knocked over due to the wind the other day. That's what happened with it. It was totaled out. So we're going through our insurance company and we're trying to get that replaced as soon as possible. So that's, if you see it not there, that's the reason why it's not there.
We're gonna put them on bigger poles.
Yeah, so the game plan, I talked to Dean, we're gonna get steel poles mounted in the ground instead of the wood. And we're gonna go from there and get them mounted on there.
We'll actually plan a base similar to light poles.
We're gonna do that for all of them, not just the one who's not, we're gonna do it for all of them.
That sounds good.
I was glad to hear it was the wind and not Councilman Hughes. All right, anything else for the chief? All right, thanks, Mike. On to Public Works and Director Ludwig.
So I really have nothing to add to the monthly report. I do want to thank you guys for the approval of Chick-fil-A's bid for Enterprise Drive. I think they'll be a good contractor to work with. I think we'll be happy when it's all said and done. So thank you for that. I apologize. I mentioned last month I wanted to do a drone flyover of the wastewater treatment plant. It was windy the last couple days, so therefore I could not get that accomplished with the contractor. So other than that, I really have nothing to add. Do a better job next time on that drone. Next month.
I appreciate your comment on Chick-fil-A. That is on me. I had intended to ask your opinion on that before we took a vote. So thank you for giving your perspective on that.
I guess I want to back up a second here for both Chief and Dean. You know, based off this public hearing that we had in there, I think what I'd maybe like you two especially start thinking about is staffing levels, things like that we're gonna need in the next 5 to 10 years, based off of the growth that, I mean, it's coming. So maybe if you guys can, I mean, do some deeper thinking as far as truly, every year we're adding how many miles of road that we gotta plow, we gotta do this. You know, I'd rather get ahead of the game than behind it. So just start, at least put that on your radar.
And also I want to add to that, not only staffing, but our facilities. We'll have to consider that as well as, and also a site for a larger facility. Something that we'll have to consider probably sooner than later.
Well, I might just say that applies across the staff.
I was gonna say, can I get
All larger facility?
we are moving to Laserfish, and so you need a dedicated computer for the scanner, so the obvious choice is the one that we're using to run the meeting technology. But the scanner is fitting on a little shelf that we're gonna have to move out to be able to scan. We're trying to, you know, we are boxed in. So we're trying to move things around so that we can at least function. Talking about a new administrator coming in and having to move things out of the conference room, filing cabinets and such, and put them in our already cramped space to make things work. So when I put that scanner together today and was looking at it, I'm like, this is, I do invite you all to come back and look at what we're doing. I'd like you all to see how we're functioning after the meeting tonight.
And we know if we just finished our master parks and trails plan, and that's going to augment, you know, recreation and parks and trails. So really, all I can say as their administrator that your staff and your directors are doing the absolutely most with what they have. But yeah, a master staffing facility concept or an idea of what's coming down the pipe is absolutely something that should be considered. I mean, particularly between now and next budget season, I think you have time. And we know it'll just be like everything else. It's not all stuff that's going to happen in 6 to 9 months, but it will just help be organized.
I know we looked at the space here. I know we got estimates, but we ever get more detailed?
Never got a layout, but
yeah, we haven't gone that any further. We haven't done anything more with that than what we got from them. And again, I just want to make sure they don't owe us anything. We haven't got back together with them at all.
And to add to John's statement too, equipment's the same way, you know, trucks, plows.
Computers.
If we get something together in a package so we know what to expect for budget season, that'd be appreciated.
I think the message to all of the department directors is we're open to the conversation. We're going to need your help to know what exactly it needs to look like.
Yep.
I've said it in a couple different times. We need to start acting like a city of 5,000 where 2,000 residents just haven't moved here yet. So that's good. Thank you. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I have. Anybody have anything other for me?
Looks like we're good. Thanks, Dean. All right, while we're under the Public Works, we've also got pay application number 7 for the wastewater treatment facility. Looks like the amount due on this particular pay installment is $527,586, correct?
Dean, did you look this over? Everything looks good?
Yes, I did.
I'll make a motion to approve pay application number 7, the amount of $527,586.26.
I'll second.
Okay.
Caroline.
John, aye.
Mike, aye.
Motion carries with 5. And that closes out the Public Works section. we will now go on to the administration. First item on the administration is Caldman Real Estate, a building permit. We've got the site plan in the board docs.
I did request more information and documents on that site plan and did not receive anything.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the building permit application, specifically for the coffee house, correct?
Correct.
So on the site plan, we get a general idea of where the driveway is going to be in pavement, not a whole lot more detail. We typically get more detail than this before approving a permit.
Well, depends.
I mean, it wouldn't be statutorily required. I mean, they send in, honestly, usually whatever convenient for them, whatever their contractor, engineer sort of has. Because we have not adopted the commercial building code requirements yet, we just don't, there's not a lot of documentation required.
Okay. So the staff recommendation is to approve?
Yes. Yeah, we're really just looking for standard zoning coherence. Is it allowed within the zoning, acceptance of use, kind of the general setbacks, basic stuff.
I'll make a motion to approve the building permit.
I'll second.
Doug, aye.
Karen, I.
John, I.
Jerry, aye.
Mike, aye.
Motion carries with 5. And we have yet another building permit. What a great situation for Peosta. Have more than one building permit in the meeting. This one's for the Peosta Tap Room in the same neighborhood there. Again, the site plan is in board docs.
I'll make a motion to approve the building permit for the Peosta Tap Room.
I'll second.
Doug, aye.
Karen, I.
John, I.
Jerry, aye.
Mike, aye.
Motion carries with 5. Item C, resolution, you were here for the building permits. Congratulations, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next up, item C, resolution plat, lot 1-73 and 2-73 at Thunder Valley Estates number 2.
This is for a split of a duplex.
Was this previously one piece of property and it's being split to 2?
Correct, so it's a duplex lot, and when the duplexes are built, then they do the survey to split the lot, so they can sell each side.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve the plot survey of 1-73 and lot 2-73 in Thunder Valley Estates.
I'll second.
Doug, aye.
Karen, I.
John, I.
Jerry, aye.
Mike, aye.
motion carries with 5. Item D on administration, the public utility easement with AJ Spiegel Trust in the industrial park.
And this is part of the easements for the projects that were just approved, the gravity sewer and enterprise drive project. You can also work with AJ on those.
Thank you, Karen. Dean, to the best of your knowledge, this addresses what we need for easement?
Yes, absolutely. It's pretty much standard throughout the Woodbury and throughout the rest of town.
I'll make a,
Basically, it's just closing some narrow loopholes. I mean,
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution approving the public utility easement with AJ Spiegel Trust dated 2/26/13.
I'll second.
Doug, aye.
Karen, I.
John, I.
Jerry, aye.
Mike, aye.
Motion carries with 5, and right on the heels of that, a very similar resolution for another one. This is a sidewalk easement with the same party in the same general location.
I'll make a motion approving the resolution, approving the sidewalk easement with AJ Spiegel Trust dated 2/26/2013, located in section 9.
Doug, aye.
Karen, I.
John, I.
Jerry, aye.
Mike, aye.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the independent contractor agreement for an interim administrator.
I'd like to make a motion to table.
Sorry about that.
So we have a motion to table with a second. Any discussion on it?
We're still in deliberation. The contract's sitting right here, and I just spoke to him today, and it's nowhere close. I mean, it could be tomorrow, it could be the end of the week, so.
All right, we've got a motion to table
So-
that. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I guess if it comes to light that we can come to agreement tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday,
Let
whatever.
me ask this question, we have a council meeting on the 20th, next Tuesday. Could we put this on the agenda as an agenda item if we come to an agreement?
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
That's where I said it.
Yeah, we're not there yet, though.
Right. Okay.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
John, I.
Jerry,
My God.
do you need a motion to put it on that for the next meeting?
I'll just take care of it.
All right, and then the next one is the independent contractor agreement with Whitney Bathke for an ongoing service to the city beyond the end of her direct employment.
Make a motion to approve Whitney's contract.
I'll second.
Okay.
Karen, aye.
John, I.
Jerry,
My God.
Motion carries with 5.
you don't want to stay?
She really does.
Can I get you?
On that one, Whitney, I would just say on behalf of the city, thank you. You've done a tremendous service to the city during your time here, and we very much respect and appreciate your commitment to see some of these things through the transition.
Yeah, I
Thank
mean,
you.
it's pretty cool, I have to say, to have the coffee shop and the tap room building permits on my last agenda just feels pretty awesome. Of course, I'm sad to leave, I love this job, this is my favorite job, but the last week I felt this overwhelming sense that we did exactly what we were supposed to do over the last 2.5 years. Like, I've done what I was meant to do here, which, of course, I had no foresight of that, but that just feels kind of amazing. And you guys are amazing, and the team here is phenomenal. We wouldn't have been able to do any of this had that team not already been in place. So, it's, you know, Dr. Wee says you leave under one of two circumstances. So this is, goodbye is always terrible, but this is the very best case scenario in which you get to walk away and be so proud of what was done and what's in progress. So I am so grateful you guys took a shot on this. And yeah, I'll miss this. I'll always miss this.
Thank you. Now we have to add tissues to the setup. The last item on here then is our closing citizen comment, where there's an opportunity for anybody to address the council. Would anybody like to address the council before we adjourn? We appreciate the participation tonight. Thank you very much. With that, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Karen,
John, I.
Jerry,
My God.
Motion carries with 5. We're adjourned.